7 of Summer of Stylite. I'm in the park and I'm trying to actually have the park to myself, but now it looks like I'm in shadow. So I think I might actually bring it a little closer. Okay, hi guys. Oh, I'm still in shadow. Hold on, maybe it's the... Hi! I've got like one camera here and one camera here, so I'm gonna try to speak up. And welcome to the outdoors. It was time to bring us outside on such a beautiful day, and I still can't believe I have the park to myself, so we'll see how long that lasts. So yeah, episode 7, this song that I want to introduce to y'all today is it's called 143, and some of you may know what that means. I actually just learned it fairly recently, but I'm going to explain it to you. So, big part of my childhood, which I think for a lot of people, was Mr. Rogers. And the article, I think it was in Esquire, that was written about him, and that the movie with Tom Hanks was made, was basically a documentary all about Fred Rogers and putting together his incredible show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And, I mean, I can't even start talking about it because I'll get emotional, but he was such a loving, kind man, and obsessed isn't the right word, but he loved 143 because I love you was I1 love LOVE for you, YOU 3. So he always he was like an avid swimmer and ate very well, and so his weight was always, actually I think he was really thin, but his weight was always at 143. He loved the numbers 143 and loved to have his weight at 143. And I read the original article that came out when I saw the documentary. I actually haven't seen the Tom Hanks movie, but I basically lost my shit it was just such a wonderfully written and emotional touchstone for me, I guess I would say. It was just so beautiful, and I kind of wanted to write a very upbeat, a song about love that was like love in its purest form, and wasn't about ew, you broke my heart, poor me, you were so mean to me. I wanted to write about the sort of more of a transcendent love, and I think the song is basically kind of about getting to the other side of love. My experience with love, and maybe a lot of people relate to this, it was pretty heartbreaking for a lot of the times, because it was the classic unrequited love, or as somebody has described to me, giving your heart with a closed fist. So basically getting involved with people that are emotionally unavailable, or just not available, period, or just not that into you, like that old chestnut. But just a lot of drama. It always seemed like love and drama were just hand in hand. And I think the meaning of love had to be, very passionate and very, lots of ups and downs. And I think that can certainly be love, but in my experience, that's been a very immature form of love. So this song was basically about kind of getting to the other side of it, and getting to the adult, for me at least, the adult version of love, and how wonderful and amazing it is, and that all the pain and all the suffering, it's kind of just like a distant dream, and that's how I describe it in the song. It's a distant lullaby, and I think it laid the foundation for where I got to. I needed to go through it, but hello bird. But basically getting to the other side of it and going, okay, now I understand it. So yeah, so actually I'm getting a little sniffly talking about it, but so this song is kind of an homage to that, about just, and again, it's also about finding love in really unexpected places, or really unexpected ways. And yeah, and just, you know, usually like the last, maybe like the last thing you thought, or the last situation you thought you'd find yourself in, or the last person, or something like that, but then being like, oh yes, this is like how it's supposed to be, and it feels effortless. I think that's the key word, is effortless. That it shouldn't be blood, sweat, and tears, you know, heartbreak, sweat, and tears. So anyway, this song, so back, like, I guess I'll talk now about sort of the mechanics of this song. So I love the, came up with this kind of like synthy, retro sound, like do 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 do. And it kind of reminded me of that awesome David Bowie hook from Ashes to Ashes, where it's like do 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 do, and that was such a great just, I mean, it's an amazing song, but that was also like just such an earworm when you hear that throughout the song. So that's something that I was like, yeah, I want to have that do 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 play throughout the song. So so yeah, that was part of the building block. And then the second thing was the melody. Normally when I start writing a song, I actually usually start with a beat, and in this case it was that weird hook and then this melody.
Love found me out again. Thought I'd play pretend with the starry eyes and hiding my emotion. Everything I've ever known, all the pain that made me grow, now a distant lullaby, goodbye. Found a better point of view, not half empty but brand new. 143 of I love yous.
The hardest fucking thing with this song was actually building the beat. I couldn't quite get my arms around it. I knew I didn't want it to be like a, you know, like a sort of pounding. I knew I wanted it to be upbeat, and because I wanted it to really be a happy song, but I just was like struggling, and layer upon layer of drum beats, and it was just getting really muddy, and like you couldn't even find the beat. Eventually, eventually meaning like this week, I actually found it, and I was so happy. And it's like a D&B, which is like drum and bass, so it's kind of like a syncopated beat, and I really like it. I think this is it. I think I'm really happy with it. So so yeah, I'm excited to share it with you guys. And like I said, this seems like kind of the emotional center. These birds are like circling. This song is kind of like the emotional center of the album, because I want it's sort of like getting over the hump of thinking I'm not good enough, or my music's not good enough, and loving my creative output conditionally, always sort of demanding or expecting more. And I feel like this song kind of, what's the word? This song basically kind of like typifies or exemplifies that I've gotten to the other side of that, and that now I'm just excited to, instead of trying to control what comes out so much and like fixate on perfectionism and all that stupid shit, it's like, this is it. And I really hope that this song will touch people in some really interesting ways. that's my fervent hope. Like, even if it's just one person that's like, man, I relate, or I got what you were saying, or I got a completely different vibe from it, but this is what it means to me. And I think that's what it's like. Once the artist gives birth, it's no longer their own. Like, they're off into the world, and you don't get to say, I don't get to dictate what the song means to somebody, or even like how it's gonna sound to somebody. I mean, there's only so much I could do, and I think that's sort of the piece that I've come to it with making music. It's like, there's only so much that I am meant to do with this, and then put it out to the world. So so this song, number 7, well, no, it's not number 7 anyway, but it's a song, and I'm excited for you to hear it.
Love found me out again. Thought I'd play pretend with the starry eyes and hiding my emotions. Love fooled me once again. Thought we were just friends, but to my surprise, my broken heart fell open. Looks like the secret wish has come to light. Everything I've ever known, all the pain that made me grow, now a distant lullaby goodbye. Found a better point of view, not up empty but brand new. 143 of I love yous.
Okay, I think that's it. People are walking by and they're looking at me like a weirdo, but I don't care, because it's like, I'm sure they have their own Instagram videos that they're making. So anyway, thanks guys. Have a great weekend. Go outside and enjoy what you can, and sending love. Thank you for joining me on this week's Summer of Stylite, and see you next time.